It's a really interesting question to ask about where service providers fit in anymore. In the past, it was always about the technology sale, whether it was mobile services, broadband, fixed line, fixed voice, you name it. It was all about the technology sale. Today, there's certainly change that's happening at a very rapid pace now, where the service provider is definitely just a piece of the end-to-end service. And you know, it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out with time, because what we've been doing with business as usual in the past is just not working anymore. Or let's say it will work for a short time to come, but pretty soon it's not going to be profitable to work that way. I think where it's being done the best right now, from my experience, has been in the Asia-Pac area. I think that Asia-Pac in many ways is kind of in the forefront in terms of thinking. In fact, one large operator that will remain nameless out in Asia-Pac has said that within 5 years, and this was last year they were making this comment, that the whole concept of broadband and really the physical connectivity layer would be a commodity, and even to the point of saying that it would be a free service. So they get the picture that it's much more, that the real future of telecommunications is much more than in providing that technology connection. It's really about what goes over that connection with the aggregation of multiple suppliers working hand in hand. Yeah, managing, you know, or providing these managed services, the concept of cloud services, I think has a long way to go. I think most service providers today understand, you know, infrastructure as a service, or even platform as a service, even software as a service when it comes to a particular application that may be good and work well for them internally, or for maybe a handful of enterprise customers. I think where they still have a lot of work and where they really need to start thinking is what I call customer solutions as a service. So what I mean more specifically is if I'm a, you know, if I'm a small business customer, even if I'm a consumer, I want to be able to say, I want you, Mr. Service Provider, to give me the network connectivity, which I'm just counting on to always be there. But in addition to that, I want to have the necessary platform and infrastructure support, the OSS, BSS for short, if you want to talk about something that will make this all come together and in a realistic sense for me. But most importantly, give me also the application, and in some cases, give me the hardware as well. If it's a PC or some other user device, make that all together in a package, and do so in a way that's enticing for me as a customer. And most importantly, don't bind me to a contract, because that's the thing I dread the most. Customer experience management, you know, it has been around for a long time. We talk about it a lot. Well, what is it? Well, it's all-encompassing. It's huge. You know, it's from the aspect of how well my service actually works when I pick up my mobile phone or I use that cloud-based application, down to how well was my experience with the call center associated with the service provider, and or how easy was it for me to go out to the website, to order something, to look at something, to understand something, and certainly how important was it and how simple was it for me to report a problem that I felt was a problem, which may or may not be within the direct responsibility of the service provider, but if they're going to provide the service to me, then I'm going to always go to them when I have problems. But if I narrow this down, it's really around what can I do to improve the quality of the components that I have direct control over, which we haven't done a good job with up to this point in time. But I think the tools are now there to really help us in that regard.